Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lilith Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Adama, and I'm here with the weekly report for the week of February 9th to February 15th. So, before we get into the week and the weekly astrological events, I just wanted to remind you guys that we've launched memberships. So, if you want to support the work that we do here on Lilith Astrology every single day, and all the amazing information that we give in terms of what astrological events are happening, how you can empower yourself cosmically, as well as through the Lilith series. Don't forget, check out our memberships below. And there are different tiers where we're offering things like exclusive content for members, exclusive webinars, exclusive discounts on personal readings with me. So check out the link below. Don't forget, support the work, because without you, we cannot do what we do every single day. So let's get started. So this morning we had a full moon in Leo at 2:33 a.m. Eastern time. So I want to just comment that is my natal moon, and I definitely understand this fiery energy firsthand. And really, the moon in Leo is all about warmth and creative self-expression. Not only just creativity in terms of self-expression, but creation in terms of children, in terms of completely new projects and coming up with those creative projects and birthing new things and birthing new ideas. It also rules everything that is light. And when the moon is placed in this sign, it reflects back that light energy. And that's why, with Leo energy, everyone always says, oh, Leos love to be the center of attention, because they're ruled by the sun, and everything that is light is associated with that sign. So I think you all may have been feeling, and this energy is going into the day, the energy of full and new moon. Those specific lunar events can last for 2 weeks after. So you may notice some of the effects from this full moon. But you may have noticed, Saturday night, you may have wanted to be around friends. You really may have wanted to create and express yourself and have fun and go out and see people you may not have seen, because January was just so intense with the Pluto Saturn conjunction, with eclipse season. We had that lunar eclipse in Cancer. At the end of December, we had that new moon in Capricorn, which was also a solar eclipse. So we have been going through a lot of changes. We've been going through a lot of realizations and transformation. And I feel like this weekend, a lot of us are like, it's time to just relax, enjoy ourselves. I mean, being a natal Leo moon, all my friends that are watching know I love a good time. I love to enjoy myself. I love being around friends and laughing and partying and having a great time. So I think that energy was abundant this weekend, and I think it's great. There was a trine actually forming to Mars in Sagittarius. So not only did you feel like you really wanted to exude this energy, there was also supportive drive in terms of expansion and growth. So I think, you may have also, and this can unravel over the next couple of weeks from this full moon energy, but feel like, okay, like I have all of these great ideas. I have all of this to offer the world. I have all of this creative energy, and the things that I create, I want to expand them. I want to grow them. I want to start showing other people what I'm worth and showing other people what I'm made of, and really, amplify what I am and who I am, and being more authentic. So I think it was more of a step in an authentic direction, and you kind of being like, this is me, and you know what, accept it. And if you don't, I ain't got time for this in my life. So I love this full moon energy. I think it's really what we've all been needing after such an intense January, a January that, it was very transformative. I think even if, say, you didn't have tangible transformations happening, there may have been changes that have happened in your psyche, in how you relate to other people, in how you go about your daily routine. Like you may have started, depending on where Capricorn is in your chart. For me, I have Capricorn in my 6th and 7th house, and I definitely took a good look at my routine, my health routine, and how I eat and how I exercise, how I go about work and how I go about my day to maximize my day. And then there was also the relationship aspect and how I relate to others, what I truly want in relationships. Am I reaching my maximum potential within certain relationships? So you all have been going through certain shifts, be they internal or external, and you know, tangible or intangible changes. So this full moon in Leo is what we all needed. And now as this vibe is kind of relaxing, we're going to head into the new, excuse me, I'm saying new moon, full moon. We're going to head into the moon in Virgo, and that's going to carry us over into Monday. And so on Monday, we actually will have Venus in Aries conjunct the wounded healer, Chiron in Aries. And this is very interesting energy to come off of the full moon in Leo. On Monday, you know, Venus in the sign of Aries, which I touched upon a little bit last week. And if you follow me on Instagram, we did a little post about, touching upon this planetary placement. But Venus in Aries is someone who has extreme knowledge of self. And in terms of relating to others, they want themselves to be fulfilled first. They go after what they want and what they need. And the consideration with the other person is not as much of a priority than, say, somebody with a Venus in Libra. Venus is in what we call its detriment. And so that means that it is not exuding those typical Venusian qualities. This is like a very fiery, go-getter type of energy in terms of Venus. And when it's conjunct when it's conjunct the asteroid Chiron, which represents the wounded healer in astrology, there can be some healing in terms of what you want in relationships as a collective, what we want to receive from the other person, and making those changes if we're not receiving what is truly serving us. So just some backstory on Chiron. Chiron was in Greek mythology. He was half man, half centaur, but he was a bit different than the other centaurs, and honestly of human, because he was completely half human and completely half centaur. So he was an outcast. And throughout his life, he dealt with the pain of being an outcast. He was abandoned by his parents, born out of rape, and went through, very traumatizing childhood. As a result of this, he was able to turn that pain and turn it into being a mentor for young boys and teaching young boys to be men and how to go off to war and defend their country. So he was able to take that pain, learn from that pain, heal it, and then become a teacher to other people. And so when we have the benefic, and by benefic I mean where Venus is a beneficial planet, where it is transiting through certain houses, and when it touches another planet or another asteroid, or it touches another planet or an asteroid, Chiron is not a planet, it's an asteroid, it can, give some benefit to that placement. And so, we've had Chiron transiting the sign of Aries, so you really have been feeling some, whatever house you have Aries in, some old wounds getting kind of, brought up, some old challenges getting stirred up, and having you face that head on. Aries faces things head on. So Venus making a conjunction with this asteroid is really going to give you the push that you need to heal in terms of relating to others and in terms of that area of life that you have Aries. And I think this is a great event. It's going to still be making that trine to Mars and Sagittarius. So you're really going to come off of that creative energy from the full moon in Leo, today. And then tomorrow just feel like, I need to start making steps to figuring out situations, figuring out partnerships, figuring out what my self-worth is, and making steps in the right direction in that area of my life, and becoming more, instead of a victim, narrative, becoming more of the master and the warrior, Aries, becoming the warrior of my relationships in my own life. So I think this is a very fiery and positive energy as we enter the week. And you really could have been needing this Venusian push to, take control and, go towards relationships that are really serving you. And they're also forming a semi-sextile to Uranus in Taurus. And so that could bring about some situations suddenly, kind of out of nowhere, where you now must exercise this new frame of thought. So this could be, you may have a friend that suddenly calls upon you, and this is not the time that you are able to be there fully for this person, and you are working through certain things yourself, and you decide to communicate your needs, and it's well received. You could be, a situation could arise at work in that same vein, where you have to communicate your needs and make sure that you are serving yourself first so that you can fully show up for others, and it can be well received as well. So I think that's some supportive energy as we start off the week. So as we move towards the middle of the week on Wednesday, Venus continues to be a hallmark planetary energy of our week, and it's fitting because Valentine's Day is this week as well. So what's very interesting also, just not the sidebar too much, not to go off track, but it's kind of on track. Friday is when Valentine's Day is, on the 14th, and Friday is Venus's day. So very, very interesting. All right, let's go back to Wednesday. We will have Venus in Aries making a square to the transiting North Node in Cancer. So this is even more of a push. When you have a benefic squaring this North Node in Cancer, squares are what initiate change. Squares are what initiate action. So we don't want to look at squares as doom and gloom, as something completely difficult. Without squares in the chart, without squares in life, you will not have action, you will not have progress. Everything will just be like, oh, let's chill and see what happens. Everything's easy, everything's simple. So when you have now Venus in Aries squaring the North Node in Cancer, making that tense aspect, you moving into the middle of the week could still be prompted to make a change that is more nurturing to you, that is more nurturing to your soul and what you're about. You could realize the partnership or relationships that have been around, that have lasted through these past 6 months, because honestly, after the Pluto-Saturn conjunction, this could be another trigger for you now, reflecting on, okay, is this serving me? Is this really what I need in my life? Is this nurturing me? Cancer is a maternal, nurturing, empathetic energy. And when it's at the North Node, that is the pathway and gateway to fulfillment. We've mastered that, Capricorn, structured and colder way of being, and more methodical. But now it's moving forward and finding out, how can I nurture myself? Venus in Aries, in relating to others, I come first. And honestly, although Venus in its detriment, we use that word, caring about yourself, you cannot show up for another person if you don't care about yourself. That's called codependency. And that to me is completely unhealthy. You have to show up for yourself first and care about your own needs first before you can show up fully for others. And I've learned this time and time again I recently had a burnout where I just felt like I was just overextending myself in so many different directions because I did not know how to say no. And then in the result, me not being there for myself and feeling well rested and feeling like my needs are taken care of first, I was not producing as well as I could. I was not doing everything to my optimal ability, and I did not feel happy. So rant aside, like, that is the energy of, if you are not taking care of yourself in relating to others, it's not going to be a give and take relationship. You're just not going to be able to show up for those people. So I think midweek you really could feel like, I need to start showing up more for myself. And that may turn off some people. That may not be what a lot of people want to hear, especially when they're used to hearing yes from you. They're used to having you around all the time, or they're used to having you do all of these things, you know, and work and do it. But when you start to push back, eventually you may feel some resistance. So that's that square. But staying true to you, Venus and Aries, staying true to your self-worth and what you want to do is the most important thing. And that's what's going to give you the most nourishing relationships of your life. That's going to also aid in you being fully happy internally, and then being able to reflect that happiness back to other people and fully be there for them too. So I think, although, you know, it's a tense aspect, I still think it is a great energy for the week of love, Valentine's Day, which I don't know why it happens during Aquarius season, which I'm going to get to that towards, you know, the end of the week. Nothing on Aquarius, but Aquarius is about the masses, and it's about nurturing the collective. It's not as much about relating to others like with Libra. It's opposing sign Leo, which is about love. So yeah, I think it's just really like nurturing the self and making sure your needs are taken care of first so that you can show up for others. So as we end the week, on Friday, on Venus Day, as I said a little earlier, we have Valentine's Day, and it's very interesting. The sun in Aquarius and moon in Scorpio. So moon in Scorpio is when the moon is in its fall position. So it's opposing moon in Taurus, and Taurus, moon is very comfortable in the sign of Taurus. Sun in Aquarius is when the sun is, you know, in a little bit of a debilitated position as well. And this is opposing Leo, where the sun is extremely comfortable. Sun rules Leo. So we have these two placements on the day of love, but they are making great aspects. So we have the moon in Scorpio is making great aspects to transiting Neptune in Pisces, which is all about like fantasy and, you know, it can be about delusion, but really, like, when we have the moon, you know, making a trine to such a dreamy planet, this could give more of a private and internal side to the holiday. We also have Mercury will be in Pisces, will also be making a trine to the moon in Scorpio. So this can create a little bit supportive energy. Even though these are some difficult positions for the planets to be in, with these like positive aspects, I think they can create some positive dialogue between lovers and friends and the people around you. And with the sun in Aquarius, that is really the position of the masses, caring for the masses, being there for the collective, being there for your community. And the sun in Aquarius will be making a supportive aspect with Mars and Sagittarius. So I think there can be there's going to be an introspective vibe to this holiday. I don't think it's going to be as, I mean, there are going to be people, you know, out there in these streets with like roses and all that stuff. But I think people are going to really be searching for meaning in the other and the other person in their life. Or if, you know, you're single on this holiday, not everyone is with someone, you could be feeling like, I am searching for something real, and I want something authentic, and I want something that's real. You also could be prompted to, you know, want to do something more philanthropic around this time. You could really want to, you know, donate to your favorite charity, or you could launch something completely new in terms of helping other people. You could really feel the drive to connect more with your friends. Maybe have, I hate saying this, Valentine's Day, I think it's the cheesiest thing ever. but you could want to connect with your girlfriends or your friends if you're a man, and or you know, opposite sexes, whoever you connect with, whoever's in your community. And really, that's like your Valentine's Day, is really connecting with those people around you. So I think it's very, very interesting energy on the day of Valentine's Day. Definitely not your usual lovey-dovey. It's like, you know, the sun is in the opposite sign of of one of the signs of love, Leo, and then we have the moon in the opposite sign of Taurus, which is about relationships and beauty and indulgence and nature. So very, very interesting energy on this day as we round out the week. So that is my weekly report. So I hope you all enjoyed watching. If you like this video, don't forget, click the bell and subscribe. And don't forget to share this video with a friend if you know someone that needs to know what's happening this week. And if you really, really love our channel and you love our brand, don't forget, memberships are below. There's a tier that starts at $5.99. So literally it's like a latte, and you are getting cosmic wisdom and cosmic insight straight to you. So I hope you all have a fabulous week. I will see you soon for another video, and bye.